from the 4th level of hell and sent us down to the 7th level of hell. Why? Because then you got Kwanzaa pulling out her titties. The whore pulled out her titties. And these whore bags over here started feeling and fondling on her tits. What?
I don't have it to do with you. Girl, you can go over there, rant and rave. Girl, you can shake all your rainbow bright hair all you want, dear one. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I don't have nothing to do with you, and I'm done. Baby, you can scream my name from the rooftops from now till Jesus come back. I'm done after this.
Introduced to Tick's meat. Do you see what I see? Did y'all really hello, casting, wardrobe, y'all let him roll up out of wardrobe with these fans on, giving us all of this, thinking we were not going to see it? We have been waiting with bated breath and anticipating all season long for the slightest glimpse, and y'all just put it out there this episode in all of its magnificent glory.
Listen, that young man said, baby, you ate on this first date, you giving up the cooch on the first date, okay? Well, you gonna run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's our new theme song. That is the new song. Listen, somebody need to put a beat to that. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's what y'all got going on.
Called out Sandcastle. Sand, bitch. Ow. Oh my God, it was so funny, girl. Woo, baby, listen, let me tell you something. This shit started to turn into the precursor for some gay porn. That's what I thought it was. Because Big T is getting all, the voice starting to go deeper and get a little more wet and moist and sentimental and all this shit. And it was real gay at this point. Like, I thought the bitches was going to start. I thought Lil Murder was going to turn Big T around and do him like he did Uncle Cliff and do the grease it up with City Lube and ran right in there. It's not a coincidence that Big T started off the conversation by trying to find out if Lil Murder was fucking Mercedes, which he found out he's not. It's also not a coincidence that he started talking about prison. Why? Because the bitches was probably fucking in prison. Uncle Cliff, you better go get your man. Big T got plans for that. What he had on looked like something Big Bird vomited up or something like that. Like, I did not like it. That Big Bird couture he was going for, it did not work. Like the pastor of a gay mega church on Easter Sunday. Okay, it was way too much sequins. He had on way too much makeup. Baby, his face looked like Yana Van Zam's neckline. Okay, just way too much makeup. Clumped everywhere on his face. Get it together, sweetheart. Like, you're a big girl, so that gives you a whole lot of canvas. So that was a whole lot of makeup, honey. And Rico looked like he was auditioning to be one of the three kings, or he was auditioning to be the main character on Jesus Christ Superstar. Girl, Wayne, did you have on a blue thong or a blue G-string or something? If you did, I want to see. Can I see? Hit me up in my DMs. I do want to see if you have a blue thong or a blue, jock strap or something like that. I'd love to see it too. Anyway, but I liked it with the turtleneck. Now, Troy.
Hey y'all, please put a 27 in the chat if you can see and hear me okay. We are having like real bad thunderstorms where I am, and so internet is real shoddy. So if you can see and hear me, please put a 27 in the chat. I had to switch from my Wi-Fi to my phone. Okay, good. Hey everybody, as y'all come in the room, listen. Ooh, hey Abby, what's good, sis? Hey Morgan, Phil, what's good? What's good, Phil? Patty Duke, hey my love. Hey little baby, Yana. I wondered if you would. I told y'all if this happened, I would go live. Child, they get ready to go on the fourth vote. The fourth vote of the fourth. Ooh. How did you think this was gonna go, Kevin McCarthy? Hey Fred J. Hey Tracy. Hey everybody. Hey Morgan. L.M. Browder. Hey everyone. Thank y'all so much for being here. Listen, Kevin McCarthy. Kevin McCarthy. You've had 3 votes so far. You started with 19 Republicans, members of your own party, voting against you. Now you up to 20. They get ready to go to the 4th vote. Now, point of parliamentary procedure, okay? In these cases, the United States House of Representatives cannot do anything until a speaker is elected. The only thing they can do from here on out is vote over and over and over on who the next Speaker of the House is going to be. This is the funniest shit in the world. Because mind you, the whole of the Democratic Party is here for. They're like, oh yeah, we all voted for. The whole of the Democratic Party is like, we're all voting for my boy Hakeem Jeffries. What y'all gonna do, Republicans? Get your life in order. Now I'm doing like I did on election night. If y'all remember election night, where I had my earphone in and I was listening to like three broadcasts simultaneously and watching y'all at the same time. That's what's going on right now in my ear. So I feel like a news broadcaster because I got the monitor in my ear listening to like three broadcasts of people screaming in my ear. But then I'm also talking to you all, making sure that I'm doing this thing the right thing. So, okay, so for those people not caught up, today is the day that Congress members get sworn in. Okay, they go, they get sworn in, and they after they're sworn in, they then elect the new Speaker of the House. Generally, it's going to go to the person whose party is in control because their party is in control, so they control the vote. So all of the members are, that's as you can probably imagine, going to vote for that person. Now we have what's known as a once in a century type situation where the members of the party in power don't want to vote for the specific person who wants to be speaker. So the Dems are sitting back like, what y'all gonna do? Now, unless someone gets 218 votes, this is going to keep going over and over and over. That's why you keep seeing these votes come up. They can't do any business in the House until they have a speaker. And so they're going to have this continual vote over and over and over. The first vote, Kevin McCarthy, on the first vote, what did he get? Like 203? He got 203 and 19 voted against him. He got 203 votes for him and 19 people voted against him. Now he's down to 202 votes with 20 people voting against him. Well, not every vote, but it's going down. Since the first vote. I think on the second vote, was it the second vote? I know about the third vote, it was on 220. Child. Hey, Harold, what's good? What's good, Harold? Hey, y'all. Listen, y'all, this is a fucking shit show. So they're getting ready to take the fourth vote. Look at my girl. I'm watching both CNN and MSNBC. My girl Ilhan and the squad is over there squatted up like, what? Wait, they need to go back because I want to see if my boy Representative Frost, the new member who's a member of Generation Z, I want to see if he is over there hanging with the squad because that's going to let you know how he's going to go. I want to see if he's squatted up because he said he was going to be a member of the squad. I know my girl, what's my girl name? Oh, God. Her name is Summer. Oh, wow, okay, the black girl. Oh God. I know she's on the squad from Pennsylvania. She's on the squad. I already told her, already said it before she even came that she was on the squad. So here's the deal. Kevin McCarthy is now scrambling, trying to get votes any way he can, making all kinds of deals with the devil, slurping whoever he needs to slurp, sucking whoever he needs to suck, and hanging from whoever nutsacks and or labias he needs to hang from in order to garner the votes. This is not a good sign. Let me say this. Even if he is to get the votes needed, this isn't a good sign for the Republicans because what that means is you, as a party leader, can't conjure up the votes. You can't whip the votes up. You need what happened to the. That's why you have a majority whip. The whip is the person who's supposed to whip up the votes and get all of the people to acquiesce and coalesce, do whatever they need to do, make whatever deals they need to make so that they can come on round. He can't get that to happen. So if you can't get these people to come together to vote you in as the speaker, so a member of their own party can lead the House of Representatives, being the third highest ranking member of these yet to be United States government, how do we know that you're going to be able to conjure up votes needed for other things that y'all want to vote on? This is a mess. You say it's a crack, little baby child. There's a leak in this old building. Child. Child. I just, but see, here's the deal, Republican Party. Here's the real deal. This is not a news flash. This when Boehner first came out of office, hey, right, and my soul has got to move. Come on, St. James, coming out the bushes. Child, you got to know, you got to be old school church to know there's a leak in this old building, and my soul has got to move. That's old school. Anyway, here's the deal. When Speaker of the House Boehner first was exited or retired back some years ago, Kevin McCarthy tried to run for speaker then, and he figured out that the shit wasn't going to go in his direction. So what did he do? He bowed out gracefully. And even though he was supposedly the heir apparent, he was the next man up. Nothing. Now, who's the next man up? Scalise. Scalise is the second highest ranking member in the House. Okay. Does Steve Scalise have the votes? I don't know. Would he run against McCarthy? That's the real question. Before even figuring out if he has to vote, hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Anyway, so here's the deal. He will Steve Scalise, even if he has the votes, will he even pull the trigger? Somebody down to the Republican Party, because here's the point. The inmates are running the asylum. Nobody wants to back nobody. Hold on, y'all. I got all kinds of I'm supposed to be going out of town tonight. I haven't even packed. I'm just on here. I'm just on here because this is happening. I'm supposed to really be packing, get ready to go out of town, and drive 6 hours to get some stuff done. Okay. So so listen, there's no real leader in the Republican Party. None of their asses want to follow Cheeto Man because Cheeto Man is a sinking ship. Damn Governor Death Sentence, who's the front runner, can't do anything because you're the governor of a whole state. You can't get yourself involved with and meddle in the business of the United States Congress because you're sitting governor. So who are they supposed to lean on? They're supposed to lean to Mitch McConnell, his whacked out ass. He barely has any institutional control over there in the Senate. Remember, Governor Trick's former governor of the state of Florida, Senator Trick Scott. Well, let me call him by his name, Rick Scott. He threatened to run against Mitch McConnell and ended up not doing it. So Mitch McConnell doesn't even have the full support of the Senate. Now you have Kevin McCarthy, who doesn't have the full support of his own party in the House of Representatives. It's an entire shit show. What was supposed to be a bloodbath and a it was supposed to be a bloodbath for the Democrats. It was supposed to be a huge red wave. This was supposed to be an alley oop and a layup for the Republican Party. The problem came, they put all of their eggs in the Donald Trump basket, not knowing that that was the wrong basket to put all your eggs in. He was a sinking ship. Kevin McCarthy, if you recall, after the insurrection, he was one of the first people out saying, "Oh, this is a horrible thing. This is one of the worst atrocities in the annals of American history," and da 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 da. And everybody involved with this, including Donald Trump, are horrible people. 3 days later, that bitch was flying down to Mar-a-Lago, kissing the ring of Donald Trump, begging forgiveness. So you look weak. This shit is funny as hell to me. You know what I'm saying? Now here's the deal. Here's the deal. You know what I would be doing if I was Jeffries? Okay, if I was Hakeem Jeffries, let me tell you what I would be doing. Oh, you mean to tell me I'm 6 votes away? All I need is 6 people to jump ship and come on my side and vote on it. If I'm Hakeem Jeffries, just like I told y'all, what you call it, Kevin McCarthy is over there making deals with the devil, hanging from nutsacks and labias all over the United States House of Representative floor to try and garner votes. If I'm Hakeem Jeffrey, if he don't get it after this fourth vote, oh, I'm making moves. I'm talking to some people. I'm saying, wait a goddamn minute. We on the fourth vote and this bastard don't got, and I'm still hanging on my 212. All I need is 6. Let me go talk to some people. Or you know what I do? I send Henry Cuellar from the great state of Texas, who we can't stand because remember that primary with Jessica Cisneros with the Democratic Party, you know, put somebody in who's pro life and pro gun in there and call himself a Democrat. Anyway, I would send his Republican ass over there because he ain't really a Dem, he a Republican, and say, "Can you go over there and get some of your middle of the road fellow Republicans, people who will align themselves with the Democratic Party, and have them come over here to our side, and we can get majority over here?" That's what I would do. That's what I would do because it's a whole shit show at this point. It's an entire shit show. Mm. Let me see. Let me read y'all comments because y'all are commenting. Um, I don't know everything, so I have a question. Since the party of Trump holds the majority in the House, are they having to vote over and over and over until a Republican gets the most? No, it doesn't have to be a Republican. It's anybody who gets 218. It does not, which is why, if you look at the vote, Hakeem Jeffrey right now, each time is in the lead because all of the Dems are voting for Hakeem Jeffries, who has 212. So the reason that the party in power always gets the speakership because they have the most votes and all of their members want somebody from their party in that seat so they can, because think about it, the control of the speaker of the house assigns committee chairs. So if you had a situation where the other party ended up taking the speakership, the majority party would give up their rights to be chairs of those committees, which would be a whole shit show. Like that shit would be unprecedented. Why? Because the committee chairs are the person who decides what bills are going to be introduced to that committee and then inevitably get to the House floor. They get to decide if there are different investigations that come up. Those committee chairs would decide that. The governing or majority party would do that, and that would be at the leadership of the hold on, y'all. Hakeem Jeffries got 212. This is the third vote. Kevin McCarthy got 202. Like I said, he got 20 people in his own party voting against him. Jim Jordan in Ohio has received 20 votes. They move it to adjourn until noon tomorrow so they could go have meetings. So they're adjourning till noon tomorrow. And so what that means is now they finna go make listen, these meetings that's about to go on right now, do you know the amount of cussings that's about to go? Listen, if I could be a fly on the wall in the meetings going on in the United States Capitol right now, do you know how many deals are being brokered right now? Do you know how many favors are about to be cashed in right now? I feel like they did that for a reason to say, listen, let's go back, let's circle the wagons, let's get these people to coalesce and get and acquiesce and kiss the ring or do whatever they do so that we can keep. So I really feel like by tomorrow, this will be figured out. By the time they have that first vote at noon tomorrow, I would be very surprised. Either one or two things are happening. Either they're gonna put Kevin McCarthy back up for nomination again and he's going to win, or you're going to see a whole nother person. Steve Scalise may come into play, or some other person. Maybe they say, well, if they don't want Kevin McCarthy, maybe we all go behind Jim Jordan. But I feel like the Republican Party hopefully will find a way to figure this shit out within the next you know, what is that, 19 hours? I mean, or something like that. You know what I'm 18 and a half hours. I figure that in the next 18 and a half hours, they'll figure their lives out. Because if not, this is a fucking train wreck, a whole train wreck. What did Evie say? To a building not made, right, a building not made with hands. That's right. I know that's right. I don't think I've ever fully seen it for me. Don't nobody see it for Mitch McConnell. That bitch ain't shit. Even his own wife don't even see it for his ass. Even though the Repubs are locking step, it's good to see there are cracks in in that foundation. Now, that's true for the Senate, little baby. The Senate Republicans usually all fall in line. Now, that's true. The House Republicans, just like the House Dems, it's a shit show. Like you have so many different factions of the Republican Party on the House floor. You got the super far right, you got the conservative or the middle of the road Republicans, the Republican parties that's more progressive or left leaning, so more centrist Republicans, and then everything, and then the far, super far right, and everything in between. And when I say super far right, we talk about people that are literally sitting on the floor of the House of these yet to be United States of America, who will absolutely, if a vote came today, revote back in slavery, sitting on the House floor as voting members. So you're talking about the super far right, all the way over there to the people who are Republican, but centrist or left leaning Republican, meaning they're the people who voted for the bill that did pseudo protections for gay marriage. Those people are centrist Republicans that are willing to be more left leaning. And you have everything in between. You got the people who are behind McCarthy. You got the people who are behind Steve Scalise. Clearly, we have a faction behind Jim Jordan because they like what Jim Jordan did in Ohio, and they think that that's a recipe for success for them in future elections and so forth. Like you got everything imaginable, so many different factions in that on the House floor. So getting all of those different groups and segments of the Republican Party to come together is a daunting task, which is why, as much as I at times couldn't stand Nancy Pelosi, the fact that that hooker was able to get all of those Democrats to coalesce behind her and say, you all gonna follow my vote or it's gonna be problems to pay. So here's the deal. Let me, because I see some people are coming in, and hello to all of the people coming in. Let me tell y'all what's going on. Here's what's happening. Here's the news flash. All right. Breaking news right now, we have no Speaker of the House of these yet to be United States of America. There's no official third ranking member of these yet to be United States government. If the president died and the vice president died right now, drop dead right now, it will go to the Senate pro tempore, which is the fourth ranking member of the United States government. Who's our Senate pro tempore? It used to be but I don't know who it is right now with the new Senate, but I forgot. It was what his name? I can't think of his name right now. It'll come to me in a little bit. But anyway, so what that means is this. There's no leader in the House. The House can't vote on anything. No laws can be passed, no budget, nothing can happen in the United States House of Representatives right now. Not a thing can happen. The only thing they can do in the House right now is continue to vote until they elect a Speaker of the House. If they never elect a Speaker of the House, there will never be any other votes in the thank you, Leahy. Thank you, Tracy. It is Leahy. Senator Leahy, thank you. Hey, Jeremy speaks. No, it's not Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell is the minority leader. So he couldn't be Senate pro tempore. It has to be from the majority party. So it's Senator Leahy. It is Senator Leahy. So no, Patty Murray. Patty Murray is she's the number 2 ranking. She is Chuck Schumer, then Patty Murray Bobo. But the Senate pro tempore is Senator Leahy. I think Senator Leahy is ranked 3rd or 4th. But Patty Murray is the second highest ranking Dem in the Senate. And Chuck Schumer is the Senate majority leader. But Senate pro tempore is Senator Leahy. So in terms of hierarchy in the United States government, you have the president, the vice president of the United States. Now, civics lesson, we all know vice president of the United States is president of the Senate, which is why the vice president of the United States can always go and cast a vote to break any tie in the Senate. So the vice president is president of the Senate. So that's the number 2 person. The number 3 person is the head of the House of Representatives, which will be the Speaker of the House. And the number 4 person will be the person, the highest then ranking member of the Senate, excluding the vice president, and that would be the Senate pro tempore. So yeah, and that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Once you get to 5, I believe number 5 is Secretary of State. It starts going to the president's cabinet. So I think it's Secretary of State is number 5. It's the big, after that is the big 4 is State, Defense, Treasury. Who am I missing? It's the big 4. State, Defense, Treasury. Who am I missing? I'm missing somebody. Anyway, y'all get what I'm saying. So my thing about it is this. What do they do now? Right now, the House just adjourned until noon tomorrow, okay? Just adjourned until noon tomorrow. Thank you, Quintessential. Hey, boo. So here's what happened. We had earlier this morning, the members of Congress were sworn in to take their seats. That happened. Bam, bam, boom. They are sworn in. They took members of the new Congress took their seats, sworn in, took their seats. Great. First order of business of any new Congress, elect the Speaker of the House. They have not had a situation like this where a Speaker of the House was not elected on the first vote in 90 years, almost 100 years. Usually the majority party always puts a member of their party in a Speaker of the House. Why? Because all laws will be determined by the Speaker of the House. The Speaker of the House determines what is going to make it to the floor of the United States House of Representatives. Meaning, if a Congress member stands up and say, "Oh, I move that this bill be put up for debate," and da, 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 it's the Speaker of the House that can stand there and say, not going to entertain that motion. They're the presiding officer of the United States House of Representatives, so they literally decide what laws do and do not are, or I should say, are and are not able to get passed through Congress. So they had the first vote. Nobody. Hakeem Jeffries got 212 votes. Kevin McCarthy, who had been the House Minority Leader, he had been the leader of the Republican Party up to this point, got 203 votes, and I think it was 19 votes for Jim Jones of Ohio. That's the first vote. The second vote, I think it was the same, and then, which means nobody got 218. If nobody gets 218, they keep voting over and over and over. So they took the first vote. Nobody got 218 votes. All of the Democratic representatives voted for Hakeem Jeffries. That's why he got 212. But on the Republican side, on the first vote, there were 19 Republicans that voted against Kevin McCarthy and voted for Jim Jones. So what that means is he didn't have the vote of his party. Nobody got 218. We got to vote again. They had a second vote. Nobody got 212. They had a 218. They had a third vote, and even more Republicans decided that they were going to vote against Kevin McCarthy. What that said to me was, on that first vote, that person probably said, "I'm gonna go ahead and vote for him. I'm gonna fall in line and see how it's gonna go." Once they saw blood in the water and saw, "Oh, this is real. That wasn't a mistake. Y'all really not gonna vote for them?" Oh, that person say, "Oh, it's open season now. Well, I ain't gonna vote for his ass either." So they decided that they was gonna vote for Jim Jones. So right now, Kevin McCarthy has him and his staffers going all through the halls of Congress right now, trying to garner any vote he can get, trying to cash in any favors, blackmailing whoever he got to blackmail, telling whoever it is he got to tell, "If you don't vote in my direction, you will never forget this. You will never be elected in this country." He's threatening people. He's making nice with people. He's telling people, "I got this 8 ball for you the next time we go to the Republican Party sex party next week. When we have that sex party for the Republican Party, I got an extra 8 ball for you, at that party." All of he's doing everything he can. He's hanging from whatever nutsack he can hang from. He's hanging from whatever labia he needs to hang from. He's doing everything in his power to get to his 218. The problem is this. This is awful for how this looks to the country. Awful. What this says to, if I'm a Republican voter and I went and did what I had to do and got these people the House, and y'all can't even make a decision on who's going to be the leader or the Speaker of the House, I'm looking at you people like y'all are some real clowns. And what this shows you is it's even worse than they thought. Had the Democrats not pissed on themselves and not done things to harm themselves, not done things that was counterproductive to having a victory, the Dems probably could have regained control of the House. Had you not had that debacle up in the state of New York with the gerrymandering that went on up there, had you not had certain things that happened in certain key states where instead of going with the progressive person, Democrats actually put money behind the campaigns of a Republican freaking candidate. Those things happened. And so what I'm saying is, this shows that there's no institutional control in the Republican Party. If I voted Republican, I'd be real upset right now because y'all don't have it together at all. Y'all can't even get a speaker. So why do I have any reason to believe that there's going to be any significant law that's going to come out of Washington, D.C. over the next 2 years. Why should I believe that? I have no reason to believe that there will be any significant legislation coming out of Washington, D.C. over the next 2 years. You know the only thing that's gonna come out of Washington, D.C. over the next 2 years? Defense bills, defense appropriation bills. And all of the bills giving more money to defense, that's going to make it out. Nothing else is going to happen. This is unprecedented in our modern history. In modern history, we have not had this. Unprecedented. What does this mean for you? Literally, I'm going to tell you, I could see the Republican Party because this is embarrassing. This is a stain on their party. This looks just crazy. So I really feel like over the next 18 hours or so, they're gonna figure this shit out. And by the time they come back at noon tomorrow, shit will be worked out. So if that happens tomorrow and the Speaker of the House comes, it means that at least we have a Speaker of the House. But what it means for the American public is do not expect any real legislation to come out. And what I mean, and the reason that's dangerous is we already know that the United States Supreme Court don't give a shit about any citizen of these yet to be United States unless you fall into the big four: male, white, heterosexual, Christian. If you ain't a member of the if you don't check all four sides of the box, male, white, heterosexual, Christian, if you ain't checking all four sides of the box, the United States Supreme Court could give a shit about you. So all of the laws that have protected people for years, all of them are in jeopardy. When the Supreme Court votes them down, there's going to be no buffer on the legislative branch to help codify certain laws. Because the Supreme Court can strike down things all they want. The Congress can then come back and say, okay, Supreme Court did that, but we're going to enact a law that makes that legal, no matter what the Supreme Court says. However, there's no institutional control. Even if the real thing is, even if Kevin McCarthy did win today, the reality is we know he's going to do everything counter to what the Dems want to do. So he's not going to bend, acquiesce, coalesce, or do any movement to do anything to aid and assist the Dems. Now, the good thing about it is Dems have control of the Senate. There are several things in the government that go through the Senate, and they don't need the House to make that happen. For example, appointments to the federal bench, that doesn't go through the House. That goes through the Senate. Appointment to the Supreme Court, that doesn't go through the House. That goes through the Senate. So any types of federal appointments go through the Senate. We don't have to worry about what the House got going on. Because as you can see, it's a shit show in the House. But it always has. The House of Representatives always has been a goddamn shit show. I mean, listen, checks and balances, Patty Duke, has been going a long time. A long time. If you notice, the legislative branch is supposed to be equally as powerful as all two. Right now, it's like the Supreme Court is the most powerful of the three branches, and then you may have the president that comes after that. Congress is way down there. But the thing about it is they're all supposed to be equal, because Congress can get rid of a president just like Congress can get rid of a member of the United States Supreme Court. They absolutely can. But rather than do what they're supposed to do, which is have checks and balances for these other branches, they just fall the fuck back. They bend over, lube up, and take it up the ass. Every time. Whatever the president wants to do, Whatever the Supreme Court comes out with, well, I'm not gonna say whatever the Supreme Court comes out with, but whenever the people on the Supreme Court don't do what they're supposed to do or don't do the right thing, nobody says anything. See Clarence Thomas, because we right now have a sitting member of the United States Supreme Court that's laying in the bed every night with a person, with a citizen that was directly involved in a direct insurrection of this country, who is a domestic terrorist, and who's in his ear telling him, giving him advice on how to vote and on certain things on the Supreme Court. You can't tell me she's not. This is complete chaos and anarchy in Congress. It's complete chaos and anarchy, but it's been that way for a while. I think people got kind of, and this speaks to, I hate that I have to keep praising Nancy Pelosi because she does get on my nerves a lot of times, but this speaks to the ability of Pelosi to be able to get those, to shore up those votes and get people to do what she wanted them to do all those years. You know, it's very well known and heralded that that whore was a goddamn bully. She walked in the room and told them, listen, you fall in line or you getting the fuck out. That's what she did. Kevin McCarthy don't have that kind of juice. Kevin McCarthy is one of those white boys in high school that wasn't popular, that didn't play sports, that was on the debate team, and parents had a lot of money and thought he was big shit because his parents had a lot of money and he had a nice car because of that, but really wasn't a popular kid like that. She absolutely has his balls in her pocket, Patty do. Oh yeah, Mitch McConnell wouldn't have let this happen. But see, that's where you have gutless, spineless, and sackless leaders in the House on the Republican side. These people, these people don't have a sack between their legs. They don't have spines. They don't have guts. They don't have the intestinal fortitude to do this type of job. The thing about it is this: regardless who the Speaker of the House becomes, ain't nothing to happen. Ain't nothing happening in DC. No legislation of import will come out of the great city of Washington DC. Nothing. Nothing. Anyway, y'all, this is what we got going on. I'm I listen, I'm telling y'all what is going on right now in the halls of Congress, in every House members, Republican House members' office right now, is yelling, kicking, screaming, and major negotiations. Major negotiations. At some point tonight, one or two things is going to happen. Either they're going to get the votes they need for Kevin McCarthy, or somebody gonna step to Kevin McCarthy and say, "Bruh, this ain't happening. Fall the fuck back. This is who we going with." So now we go and open Congress up. The House of Representatives up at 12 o'clock tomorrow. That 12 o'clock vote. If that thing don't go on the first vote, oh, we gonna be here for a minute. If they don't get Kevin McCarthy or whomever else they got in place, the 218 votes by that first vote tomorrow, which will be the fourth vote total, oh, we're gonna be in this thing for a while. It's gonna be a whole shit show for a while. This thing gonna go on for a while. Because that means people are unwavering and people are unmoving. Just a mess. Just a damn mess. That's what y'all got going on. I just wanted to come on real fast and give y'all that. I know I've been up here 45 minutes. I told myself I was only gonna give y'all 30 minutes because I really got a lot to do. Um, I think he had to step back. They're not going to vote. It, like I said, it's still a lot of time between now and noon tomorrow. So we'll see what happens between now and noon tomorrow. But it it ain't looking good, Kevin. It is not looking good. So I think tonight they're going to either find the votes they need, and he has what 202 votes, so that means he needs at least 16 people to say, okay, I'm going along with him. 16. Hell, Hakeem Jeffries only needs 6. Tomorrow, that show. I don't think the Dems gonna get it. I doubt the Dems get any vote now. I don't think Hakeem Jeffries is gonna get over that 212. Dems ain't getting no more votes. So I'm not really worried about that. Because Republicans are not going to give up control. They're by no stretch of the imagination going to give up control at all. They're not going to give up control. Like I put money on that because if they give up control, that means all of the committee chairs and everything um, um, will go to the Dems. So yeah, with that said, the way McCarthy is about to be on the campaign trail right there on level two, Hakeem Jeffrey needs to do the same level out seriously because all he needs. I'm with you, Harold. I'm with you 1,000%. I just don't think it's likely, only because the Republican Party, not just the Republican Party, no party is going to give up the speakership. No party. Like that's just not going to happen. I just don't see that happening. I will say this, that fourth vote, which is going to happen at noon tomorrow, is going to be quite telling. If they don't get the 218 in that fourth vote, well, we're going to be here for a long time. And remember, like I said, the House can't do anything. There's no business to come before the House floor until the business of the Speaker of the House is determined. A mess. A mess. Um, Before I know that they are not. But just imagine tomorrow McCarthy having 201, and the Republican Party put they go to the table and tell him to step down. Child, that will be funny. Before I get off, I do want to say we are still offering prayers to Damar Hamlin's family, um, the safety for the Buffalo Bills. I watched that last night, and it was pretty horrific. It was. I remember watching it and saying, like, how are they going to play after this? Because when you literally watch one of your teammates having to be brought back to life with defibrillators with a defibrillator and stuff like that, like that is a scary thing. And we're praying for him and his family because that is scary. Mind you, a couple minutes earlier, they had to cart somebody else off because of a head injury. Mind you, I don't know what answer there is, National Football League, but this stuff is getting worse. And I'm going to say that because it is a dangerous game. And these young men are faster, stronger than some of their predecessors. Not that they weren't um, fast people back in the day. But look at the times, like when you look at 40-yard dash times, they're faster. When they have all types of sports medicine um, innovations and things out there that help them get faster, stronger, and things like that. But the equipment for these players is not caught up. Like it's not progressing the same. And so you have people um, that are getting the lights knocked out of them. You got people that are going into cardiac arrest. They said he went into cardiac arrest last night. And the thing about it is, one of the things I do, well, one of the things that happens is this too. Um, I think that money gets in the way. And when I say money gets in the way, it's on both sides. Money gets in the way of the players who say, I'm going out there regardless, whatever ailment I have, whatever sickness I have, whatever chronic disease I have. If I can go out there, I'm going out there. In the same regard, there are teams and owners that say if they got a pulse, send them back out there if we can, because we're trying to win this game and get this money. And the more those dollars keep adding up, the more we're going to have more of this. This isn't going to stop. The NFL is one of the largest profit-making institutions in the world. One of the largest profit-making institutions on this planet. So they didn't play. They postponed the game after that. But I remember watching. I was like, how they expect these people to play after that? They did postpone the game indefinitely, which is good. But it's it's not going to stop. You got Tua Tagovailoa over in Tagovailoa in Miami, who's had three major concussions this season. One of which we watched, where you could see his nervous system was having a whole episode because he couldn't even get his fingers right. His whole nervous system was breaking down. A couple weeks later, he was back out there. It's not going to stop. It's the almighty dollar. Um, what do you do? And it's not like when you go back and look at the play, it's not like it was like, oh my God, I could see how that happened. That was a hard hit. It didn't look like something that was like out of the ordinary. You know what I'm saying? It didn't like look like anything that should have caused that, but who knows? It could have been something that was already impending or it could have been a succession of things that led to that. But the point that I'm making is this: if you think that it's going to stop or curtail the NFL from doing what it does, because the fans don't want that. Even if the NFL said tomorrow, okay, we're going just to touch or flag football, the fans will have a whole meltdown. Now, the last I checked, they said that they were able to get his vitals back um, uh, in, under control, but he's still in critical condition. So, prayers out to his family. Y'all, I can't stay on no longer. I gotta get out of here. I got too much to do tonight. I got way too much to do tonight. Listen, y'all. I'm sorry I couldn't. Y'all know normally I would come out here and give y'all a good 2 hour politics of it all and go in and let have. But I got way too much to do. I'm gonna be following this. I am gonna be off the grid until probably Monday. I'll be off the grid until Monday. However, when I come back Monday, we're gonna do what we do. We'll be back at it. It's a brand new year, brand new time. We're gonna have new shows. I have a Sugar Spike Dailies that will come out starting next week, and we're gonna do what we do, make it happen. Y'all, I'm looking forward to it. As I always say before I get out of here, I love y'all. I love on y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They are much obliged and much appreciated. Um, listen, y'all got to get out of here. I got to get some stuff done, and yeah, and travel and stuff. I haven't even packed. I gotta leave tonight. So let me follow you on the other social. I don't know why I haven't already. Oh yeah, all my socials are down there. So now my freak Twitter isn't on here. Freak Twitter is, I have to let you in. That one's closed. Child, hell, you don't want the freak Twitter handle. That is not for the faint of heart. Oh dear God. Ask something like Tracy is on the freak Twitter. Xavier is on the freak Twitter, but it's not for the faint of heart. You got to be able to handle some things to handle the freak Twitter. So anyway, thank y'all so much for being here. Hopefully y'all learned like we always try to learn here. I'm about to get out of here. That's all I got. Until next time, thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.